What if I told you, most of your problems aren't even real? You know, one of the hardest lessons in life is realizing that you should never change yourself just to make someone else happy. Unless, of course, that someone is you. Think about it. How many times have you adjusted your personality, your dreams, or even your values just so others would accept you? Maybe it was for a friend, a partner, or even your family. But here's the truth. The moment you start twisting yourself into someone you're not, you lose the very thing that makes you unique. Real growth begins when you look in the mirror and say, I'm enough. And if I change, it will be for me, not for anyone else. But here's the catch, growth often comes with a price. And that price is loneliness. When you start improving yourself, when you stop playing small, when you start saying no to things that no longer serve you, people might walk away. And that's okay. In fact, it's necessary. Loneliness is not always a punishment, it's often the sign that you're moving to a higher level in life. There's a saying, if you don't control your mind, someone else will. And it's true. Society, friends, even strangers, they'll all try to influence your thoughts and decisions. If you don't learn how to guide your own thinking, you'll end up living a life designed by others. And that's not living, that's existing. Now, let's talk about confidence. Most people think confidence comes from success. From winning, from achieving. But the truth is the opposite. Real confidence comes from being comfortable with failure. It's when you try, fall, and rise again that you start to trust yourself. Because every time you fail and survive, you prove to yourself that you can handle it. Success feels good, but failure is what actually builds your backbone. And of course, we can't forget about sacrifice and discipline. If you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes the sacrifice. Every single choice you make, staying in bed or waking up early, scrolling your phone or working on your dream, pleasing others or respecting yourself, these little decisions add up. They form habits, and those habits decide your future. Discipline might feel like suffering now, but it's freedom later. So ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to become the person you want to be? Because you can't have it all. You always exchange something for something. And the sooner you accept that truth, the sooner you can start building a future that actually belongs to you. In short, self-respect and personal growth mean this: stop living for applause, stop chasing validation, and stop bending yourself for people who wouldn't bend for you. Choose yourself. It will be hard, it will be lonely at times, but it will also be the most liberating decision you'll ever make. When it comes to relationships, one of the biggest lessons you'll ever learn is this: you can't force love. You can't make someone stay, you can't convince someone to care, and you can't beg for loyalty. If you have to constantly remind someone of your worth, they're probably not the right person to be in your life. And here's the hard part: sometimes the people you care about the most are the very ones you need to walk away from. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back. Missing is simply a sign that you're human, that you felt deeply. But it's not a reason to reopen a chapter that nearly destroyed you. Instead, pay attention to this: if someone's absence brings you peace, you didn't lose anything. Let that sink in. Too often, we hold on to people who drain us, just because we're afraid of being alone. But peace of mind is worth more than fake company. True friends, the real ones, are not the ones who show up at your celebration. They're the ones who sit beside you in silence during your lowest moments. Hands that were on your shoulder in bad times are worth more than hands that clap for you in good times. Because anyone can celebrate your success, but only a few will stand with you in your pain. And here's a rule to live by: never make someone a priority if they only see you as an option. When you invest your time, your energy, and your heart into someone who wouldn't do the same for you, you're not just hurting yourself, you're teaching them how to treat you. Remember this: you train people how to treat you, whether you realize it or not. Now, forgiveness. Let's be real, it's not easy. When someone betrays you, your first instinct might be to hold on to anger, to seek revenge, to make them feel what you felt. But here's the thing: forgiveness is not about making them feel better, it's about setting yourself free. Carrying anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It doesn't work. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Boundaries are another form of self-respect. Sometimes, being too nice is exactly what destroys you. If you're always available, always giving, always saying yes, you'll eventually realize that people will take advantage of you. Kindness is beautiful, but kindness without boundaries is self-betrayal. So don't feel guilty for putting yourself first. Don't feel guilty for saying no. Don't feel guilty for cutting ties with someone who constantly disrespects you. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's survival. At the end of the day, remember this: people will walk in and out of your life. Some are lessons, some are blessings. And those who are meant to stay won't need to be chased. One of the biggest prisons people live in is the past. We replay old mistakes, old relationships, old conversations, like broken records stuck on the same song. But here's the truth: the longer you live in the past, the less future you have to enjoy. Think of it like this: you're driving a car. The windshield is huge, while the rearview mirror is small. Why? Because what's ahead of you matters more than what's behind you. Yet so many of us keep staring at the rearview, wondering why we're not moving forward. Now, letting go is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. And that's because the heart often refuses to accept what the mind already knows. But sometimes, you need to burn bridges to stop yourself from crossing them again. Because if you keep going back to what broke you, you'll keep breaking in the same place. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. Missing is normal. It's a part of healing. But bringing them back into your life? That's reopening wounds that were just starting to heal. And here's a tough one: leave when promises turn into excuses. How many times have you stayed in situations where people kept saying sorry but never changed? A sorry without change is just manipulation. People can say anything with their mouth, but their actions always tell the truth. If they wanted to, they would. It's that simple. Sometimes, walking away doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to protect yourself. It means you finally chose your peace over their chaos. And believe me, peace is priceless. It's okay if you don't know how to move on right now. You don't have to figure everything out at once. Start small. If moving forward feels impossible, then simply focus on not going back. One step at a time. Healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means not letting the past control your present anymore. And here's something powerful to remember: just because a decision hurts doesn't mean it was the wrong one. Leaving someone you once loved, quitting a job that drained you, cutting off a friend who betrayed you, it hurts. But sometimes pain is just proof that you're growing. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop forcing. It means you accept that not everyone is meant to stay in your story forever. Some people are just chapters, not the whole book. And that's okay. Because every ending makes space for a new beginning. So ask yourself this: what are you still holding on to that no longer holds you? And then remind yourself, sometimes things don't fall apart, they fall into place.